How's that volume for everyone? That's all good? I'll start in about a minute's time, folks, so just make sure I've got everything ready to go and we'll begin.
Oh, salsa, you know it's coming.
Good afternoon, folks. I hope you're all having a good day so far here at Wellington Zoo. If you've not met me earlier, my name is Kylie. I am one of the rangers here. And what I'm going to do this afternoon is tell you a little bit about our two beautiful sun bears here at Wellington Zoo, and also give them a little bit of a treat. So they're not just getting coconut today, they're also getting a little bit of frozen fruit. So this has been in the freezer for a little while now. It's rock solid hard. And on a day like today, it's perfect for our sun bears. Cools them down a little bit and gives them a bit of a icy treat. So what I'm going to do first of all is ask you a bit of a question. I don't know if anyone's been to the Sunbear Talk before, but I tend to ask this question a lot. I want you to have a little think about all the zoos we have here in New Zealand. We've got obviously Wellington Zoo, with Auckland, a couple down south in Christchurch, Hamilton, a few more spread out. And also think of all the different bear species, because there's quite a lot in the world. Several varieties found in Asia, several in the Americas too. I want you to have a good think about those bears, all of our zoos, and then try and think of how many bears you have in total in the whole country. And there's no wrong answer here, or there is a wrong answer, but it's just a little guessing game. See what people can guess. What do you think? What do you think it might be? Two. Oh, everyone seems really convinced it's two. Have you been here before, or you're just not that good, huh? Yeah, it is two. It's definitely two. There's only two bears in all of New Zealand, and there are two lovely sun bears we have here at the zoo. And special story behind the reason why we have them, especially good old Sean over there. He's that handsome fellow, being quite clever today actually because of the shade. And this is Sasha over here, if you didn't hear me calling her before. I'm going to tell you a little bit about them and how they came to be here, and also about sun bears in general. But first of all, I think it's about time they get their treats. So I'm just going to turn my microphone off for just a second so I can throw these frozen bananas, and then I'll tell you all about them.
Alright, Sean, salsa. Hello, salsa bear. You ready? Sean! Oh, effort.
It is like the There we go. So I'm going to start by telling you a little bit about Sean, because Sean is not a bear that was born in captivity. He's actually what's known as a rescued bear, because when Sean was originally discovered, he was found over in Southeast Asia, right outside a restaurant. There could have been a few reasons why he was there. One reason could have been he would have been there as a form of very unusual advertising for the restaurant, having an exotic animal outside to entice people in. The other reason was he could have even been on the menu. There's a delicacy in some areas known as bear paw soup, and sun bears are one of the key ingredients, of course. Very thankfully though, an organisation known as Free the Bears rescued him, and he eventually came down to Wellington Zoo, where he bred with a female we had at the time called Shummel, and the result is this very beautiful girl right in front of you at the centre, Sasa. So she is his daughter. She's been here for 5 years, born 5 years ago, and Sean's now sitting on 15 years of age. So we've had these two bears for quite a while now. We've watched her grow up into this absolutely stunning bear, and I love using her as an example of how beautifully built a sun bear actually is. So let's start by talking about those claws. You can see she's making a great use of them. They act like a spoon almost. They can scoop up melon as well, or anything else, and use it just like a spoon, shovel it straight into their mouths. They're also used as tools to break into other objects. So in a while they're going to get coconuts, and you'll see those claws in action trying to open up these coconuts. They'll use them to crack open logs as well to get at the insects inside. And while you can't see it at the moment, sometimes they'll discover places with honey, and they'll actually dip these incredibly long tongues down into the crevices to get that honey out, as well as insects that they find in logs. But those claws are not just handy for finding food or eating food, they're also very important for tree climbing. So you'll notice around the enclosure we have quite a lot of very tall leafless logs and branches sticking up. And you might also notice that there are some trees down the back that are just very, very barren. And that is all Sasa's doing. She discovered when she got to a few years of age that breaking things was really, really fun. So she would climb up trees and use her weight to jump up and down until a branch broke. She'd topple over and then she'd climb up and repeat the process again until the results are pretty much what you can see now. So here's hoping when these guys get their new enclosure later in the year, she's gone beyond that habit now and doesn't do the same for the new trees. But that's why we give them plenty of climbing apparatuses around the enclosure. They can climb up anything there that you can see sticking up right in the centre of the enclosure with ease. No worries at all. She's getting a little bit sick that there's nothing else there. I might throw over the coconut in just a moment as well so she's got something else.
Sasa! Sasa!
You'll see those claws in action again when she sits down and takes that coconut. If she sits down and takes that coconut, she'll think she's expecting another banana right now. Good girl. There we go. So, yeah, we also tie up ropes and we'll even make a hammock from time to time that they can climb up and lay around it. She's just trying to check if I have any more. There we go. And Sean's coming down, so I'll get him as well.
Sean!
She cannot carry both at once, I don't think. So if she does, she'll impress me. But they'll go after one or the other, so hopefully there shouldn't be any arguments. Have one each to go around. So yes, as I was saying, during climbing, you'll even notice that they walk there slightly pigeon-toed to help them grip hold of the trees and climb up. So that's another feature built into the sunbed that's really handy as you go through that milk. The other feature that I really like on the bears is all to do with their skin and their fur. So you might notice that the fur looks really soft and silky. It might make a great soft pet. If you pet a cat or a dog and they're really soft and silky. It is not like that at all with some bear though, despite the way that they look. That fur is actually very rough and coarse. And that is very important for crashing through the really thick forest to keep them nice and safe from getting cuts and scratches from the branches. But the other feature, which is very evident on Sasa right now, is all that loose skin around the back of a sunbear's neck. Because while sunbear are pretty fierce, there won't be many animals that would try to take on a sunbear or eat them. There is one, and that is the tiger, the Martian tiger. Every now and again, they might decide to try and eat the sunbear. And that's where that skin comes into play. When a tiger grabs hold of a prey, it grabs hold of them by the back of the neck. So when they grab hold of a sunbear, the tiger grabs hold by the back of the neck. The sunbear can literally just turn around in its own skin and fly back. And that is pretty shocking for a tiger. They don't expect that from their prey. And that gives the sunbear a chance to make their getaway. So every part of the feature of a sunbear is beautifully designed, especially for surviving in that really thick forested areas that they come from over in Southeast Asia. And that's unfortunately where a lot of the problems for these guys lie right now, is that they're losing a lot of that natural habitat. So here at the zoo, we do absolutely everything we possibly can to help these bears out. We don't live in the same country as them, but what we actually do is we make sure we're very careful about where all of our wood and paper products will come from. And it's very easy to do. We just look out to make sure that they come from sustainable forests, especially anything that bears the FSC logo. And that is an internationally recognised logo, and it's a perfect one to look out for if you're ever in the market for buying any wood or paper, any wooden furniture, anything like that at all. That's a really simple thing that you yourselves can do to help out some bears as well. So it's good to see that they both took a coconut each, and there wasn't any debacle about who gets which size one. I'm going to stick around folks, so if you have any questions about our beautiful sunbears, feel free to ask me and I'll be happy to answer. We do have another really cool Asian animal at the zoo, our short-clawed otters, who haven't talked this afternoon as well. At 3:15, that's down the front of the zoo, you can hear all about the otters. And because it is Sea Week this week, we're also doing a little blue penguin talk through after, so you'll be able to catch both talks, one after the other. The little ones have said about 20 times. And if you haven't been able to see them today, that's a perfect opportunity because people will be feeding them then, so you might be able to grab a piece of the little guys. They're very sweet. So, as I said, feel free to come on over and ask me any questions if you have them. If not, enjoy the rest of the day here at Wellington Zoo. Make sure to keep on that sunscreen. It's a pretty hot day, and we hope to see you around again. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I've got very much of it. Hold it. Pretty cool. So the other one's dry, don't
We got to sleep for most of the time and go down to the forest road as well.
Does it mean they can make information?
They each of them, their masters of the farm, they each connect their own machine circles. Whereas Dad will be, and for Mum, I think it was Mum, they were starting to cut a lot of stuff.
Because of the mother job.